Good morning, World History Cardinals. We have a lot to cover this morning. This is a video that I'm making to kind of give you an idea of how to find information on the great African kingdom. So I'm going to show you two methods. We are in Unit 5, Lesson 2, and I just want you to understand that the work that's in the Canvas, we're going to do the warm-up, but that's it. That second document we are not going to do. So I'm going to show you how you can get to it, but I don't think you'll be able to see it. If you go to your NC Ed Cloud, go to the regular textbook for HMHED, and you click on that, and you're going to do it like we normally do. It's just the module for African empires is module 12. So when you hit discover and it pops up, instead of going to 13 where we were learning about Mesoamericas, you're now going to go to module 12. So click on that, and then it gives you diverse societies in Africa, migration, the kingdom of Aksum, North and West African civilization, and Eastern city-states and Southern empires. That's how you get to reading about Africa in this module. And just open your ebook. And remember, I told you always take that back arrow. And then just start your lesson. Take notes on this page. It's going to give you an essential question. And there's a video. I really want you to watch this 5-minute video that the textbook is giving you so you'll get an idea of where the first humans came from. And then I want you to take down notes from the timeline. Remember, the notes in blue are what you need to write down. The notes in blue. So at 1500 BC, you will write this down, that Africans south of the Sahara lived in scattered communities as pastoralists or hunter-gatherers. You just combine this knowledge with what we started the school year off talking about early man. Remember, all life began in Africa. Then while that's going on, you see that we have the Olmec. And if y'all remember, I told you the Olmec civilization in the Mesoamericas were already rumored to be black, which is a possibility because of the land masses being together. If we know that all life began in Africa and we know that everybody migrated, you got to remember these were times that those river valley civilizations had not even been created yet. So yes, it makes sense that those people, those early humans, would have African features. But just like the others, they just couldn't cross back over once the Bering Strait closed at the end of the Ice Age. You would write down about Pianki. You would write down about the Nok people. You would write this information down about Janae Gino. You would write down information about the Bantu migration. You would write down about King Izana ruling Aksum, the Empire of Ghana, thriving on trade. You would write down Hausa city-states, which they're telling you Kano, Daura, Katsina, Zaria, Gobir, Rano, Zamfara, that Hausa language and the Islamic region. You would write that down to learn more about them. And then the Yoruba and Sundiata founds Mali Empire, where Mansa Musa came from. And see, there is a whole section on Mansa Musa. And then you'd be ready to go to the first lesson. So yes, I want you to go through this textbook and take notes on it. I would rather you read and know about this area, especially when we're dealing with the map. I want you to watch the first map videos first. Let me go to that in Canvas. So once you go to Canvas and you get to the home page, go to the live lesson links. Okay, they just added something for y'all. But go to the live lesson links and you are going to see that I still have some video. So I provided about 3 videos for you guys. One on just the regular African kingdoms, and it's really, really good. It actually draws the different geographical regions of Africa, so you would need to take notes on that. Then you have a video from Henry Gates again, who is in charge of Finding Your Roots that show on PBS. He's a Harvard professor. I think he's retired by now, but that's where Mr. Gates is from. And then you have a book from Ibram X. Kendi called Stamped from the Beginning. And that's just to order a book, but I'm not asking you to do that. So then back to the unit. Please read over all of these. That is your assignment, to read these sections. And you would keep going all the way to the end. Learn as much as you can about the African lifestyle. Watch the videos to educate yourself. All right, I'm also going to show you another textbook that we have used. This textbook, and I need to go back to the beginning. This textbook here is the actual African American Studies textbook. This is what I used last year. It's an easy read. Same thing here. I would rather you read over this just so you can have an idea of how Africa is important. Of course, they talk about Egypt, and you all know that Egypt was one of the River Valley civilizations. They show you what life was like in Egypt, but as you guys already know, they also add Kush, Nubia, land of the blacks. The thing about it is, this becomes muddy because we also talk about how Egypt was black as well. It's just sometimes history likes to paint over that. But I'm trying to slow this down some because I don't think you guys have access to this textbook. So I'm hoping that you could pause your video and just read over the pages that I am clicking on. So when I taught this, I gave the students the 3 great kingdoms of West Africa. And that's what you guys need to focus on. You would write down Mali, Ghana, and Songhai. And I know it's probably hard for you to read. You would also write down these sets of vocabulary words: Sub-Saharan Africa, Mansa Musa, oral history, extended family, age sets, animism, and griots. And then I will go to the next page, and we have another map. And again, you can pause these as you need, but you would read the pages. You would read the pages. You don't have to answer the questions, you just need to read the pages. So, like, you would pause your video to read more about Mansa Musa, read his achievements, read about Songhai, and see he's going to cross. Look, there's Janae, Jano. So you're going to see it in 2 places, which is good. I'd rather you have more access to resources than none. So here's another page that tells you how Songhai fell. And there's one of the definitions of oral history. Sample artwork. Here are definitions of extended family and age set. Again, you would pause that right here and write down the definition. You'd have the definition of animism and griots. is basically like spice for the three kingdoms of Africa. All right? You don't have to do those questions. And you won't be making any exhibits because I don't have to do that for you because you're not taking the full African American course. Here's a section you can read that talks about the other countries, but this just deals with East Africa, Kush and Aksum. Again, giving you time to read through. There's a section to read. Here's a section you could read, and you would just pause your video. You'd pause the video, read these pages, and then keep going. You could pause the video to look at the map. And I'm about to sign off just because this is getting pretty long. But again, I just wanted to give you access to this chapter. There's the Swahili culture. There's a section you can read on that. You would pause the video to read it all. And then you'd get the last paragraph. And then you would read this section. Because now we're getting into the Congo. Pause it so you can read it. And that would be one of your last sections. As we near the 12-minute mark, I am going to just kind of stop. There's more of the chapter. And then you read that last line. The slave trade marked one of the saddest times in all of human history. You'll read more about that dismal period in the next chapter. And we're not, because that is the end. And all of this goes back to section 2, lesson 2 about the great African kingdoms. So basically, I just showed you what they were, but I also gave you some background material on where you can read. All right, guys, I will talk to you in a few more hours. All right, bye-bye.